Today, I am talking about fraudulent applications. As a landlord, it is so important to make sure that you or your property management company is doing a very thorough, detailed screening on anybody that applies for your rental property. Do you know you can go on the internet and you can buy fake paycheck stubs? You can buy a fake landlord reference or employer reference. You can even buy fake social security numbers. Today, I'm going to actually be going over 5 real world examples of recent applications that we've received in our office that we were able to detect were fraud. So hopefully this can kind of help as you are sifting through applications to help you detect some fraud for yourself.
So let's dive right in. First up, let's call her Joan. The red flags for Joan was she provided a passport instead of an ID, even though she's a U.S. citizen, and the passport even had signs of being photoshopped. The landlord name she gave didn't match the property records, and we couldn't find her place of employment on any search. But the biggest fraud indicator for Joan was her paycheck stubs. These two amounts up here do not match. Let's zoom in on them real quick. So her net pay up at the top was $24.95.64, and then at the bottom the net pay was $24.95.74. Joan made a 10-cent error when she was generating these fake paycheck stubs. Sorry, Joan, you messed that up just a little bit. So next up, we have the Oakleys. I am going to use the real first name on this one because it's interesting. So stick with me. So on February 13th, Oakley P, who was 33 years old, applied for a house we have for rent. He was denied because he didn't meet our minimum credit requirements. 2 days later, on February 15th, Oakley L, who was 70 years old, applied for the exact same house. This got really confusing because the emails that Oakley L was sending to us were coming from the name of Jeff, and we just couldn't keep up. Not to mention, there was a ton of other red flags as well with this application. So ultimately, we ended up declining, and the Oakley and Jeffs couldn't keep up either. So now we have Leisha. I'm going to use the name provided on this one because I have to show you the fake ID on this one. So basically, if you look at Leisha's ID, you can see where there's certain areas where it's like kind of bleeding out. Like if you zoom in here, so you can kind of see how the red is bleeding out around this. And then down here as well, like if you look at the zip code here, you can see a lot of black that's bleeding out from the numbers. So that's an indication that it is a fake photoshopped ID. So ultimately, we did not move forward with Leisha. So fourth, let's call her Rachel. So Rachel had several red flags, but the biggest one was the fake paycheck stubs. And I wanted to show this. So here we've got 2 different paycheck stubs for 2 different pay dates, which is what we want. So this one is pay start February 18th through March 2nd. The second one here is March 3rd through March 16th. So 2 different pay periods. However, the same year-to-date deductions were withheld on this one and here. So the year-to-date here matches all of her withholdings on the next paycheck stub. So because this paycheck stub is newer than this one, it should have a higher year-to-date. That should not match up the same amounts. So ultimately, Rachel was denied due to fake paycheck stubs. And then last, we have Becca. Becca used a CPN number to apply. What's a CPN number? It is a credit privacy number. It's a 9-digit number formatted just like social security numbers. I actually should just make a whole separate video just about CPN numbers because there's so much to know. But I just wanted to show you here real quickly how to tell the difference between a CPN number and a social security number. The big indicators that you have an applicant using the CPN number is they're only going to have recent credit history, or maybe they just have very limited credit history. And it may even date back to when they were like super young. And in some instances, we've even seen them come through that it dates back before they were even born, which is obviously impossible. So we can usually tell pretty quickly based off of this, but it does often coincide with other suspicious things on the application, like fake paycheck stubs or fake IDs. that sort of thing. So for Becca, she only had one credit account with an origination date of 1988, which was less than 2 years after she was born. So we ended up ultimately denying Becca. And a huge shout out here to Key Assist, Keyrenter's application screening department. Mario in particular here caught all of this fraud, and I am forever grateful for having such an amazing team.
So there you have it, some real world fraud examples. Be careful out there. It can be so tough right now. And if there's anything we can help you with and you have any questions, feel free to call us 636-707-2000 or visit our website, KeyrenterStCharles.com.